Do you think Miranda would smear my name? She wrote a novel and I think I'm in it.
What's the name of the book?
I was always the main chick.
Were you?
Have you lost your mind?
Baby.
I'm at home waiting on you, and this is what you're doing.
Well, stop waiting, Bryce.
What are you doing?
I'm just looking at my menu.
We're getting married. What?
What? Yep, we are.
I don't even need one, Anton. How about this instead? I kill you, I keep this kid, then I go and get the rest of his classmates back. I just got put in charge of saving Carlotta's R&B fest. You know what that means?
No.
It means I'm one step closer to building my music empire. Just got a call. Local PD's office needs assistance in a homicide.
Must be some homicide.
Stabbing downtown. Apparently not a drop of blood. Told him I put my best eyes on it.
Can you imagine the man who made us laugh every week on House of Payne transforming into someone so terrifying that his co-star's father wanted to fight him after the premiere?
He's ready to kill Lance. Thank God Lance couldn't make it to the New York
missed that
premiere. That was he did a good job.
Lance Gross built a career playing the lovable goofball we all rooted for, but when he stepped into his most shocking role yet, even his own daughter couldn't sit through the movie. And before we get to the jaw-dropping moment that made him headbutt his co-star without warning, stick around because the final revelation about his personal life will completely change how you see this Hollywood nice guy. On July 8, 1981, Lance Darnell Gross was born in Oakland, California, to an African-American mother and Ghanaian immigrant father. He wasn't supposed to end up in Hollywood.
I'm an actor, from Oakland, California. I have a wife and two beautiful children, a beautiful wife.
He was supposed to be running track, breaking records, dominating on the field. The kid was that good. But sometimes destiny has other plans. And for Lance, those plans involved a chance encounter in an elevator that would change everything. After his family relocated to Las Vegas, Nevada, where he graduated from Bonanza High School, Lance faced a crossroads that would define his entire future. He had scholarship offers, a clear path to becoming a professional track and field athlete, but something inside him whispered a different dream. Against all logic and expectations, he turned down the opportunity to become a pro athlete to chase acting, a decision that would have seemed absolutely crazy if we couldn't see where it led him now.
Every actor wants to do the dramatic stuff. So that's what I thought would be my main thing. And then it wasn't that at all. It was my first major casting was Tyler Perry's House of Payne.
We just showed Uncle Curtis a new trick that we learned at school. So do you want to see it?
You can't hustle a hustler.
Lance enrolled at Howard University, earning his Bachelor of Arts in theater while surrounding himself with some of the most talented Black artists in the country. But Howard was just the beginning. He went on to train at the Ivana Chubbuck Studio and the Tasha Smith Acting Studio, sharpening his craft with two of the most respected acting coaches in the business. Now here's where the story gets interesting, because Lance's big break didn't come from years of grinding auditions or sleeping on casting directors' couches. It came from being in the right elevator at the right time. Lance is at BET's 20th anniversary after party in the year 2006, probably networking, probably hoping for a break, like every other young actor in the room. He steps into an elevator, and standing there is Carl Connie, the legendary fashion designer. They strike up a conversation, and by the time those elevator doors open, Lance has landed a national commercial deal. But that elevator ride was just the warm-up for what happened next. That same year, Lance booked minor roles on Eve and The Bernie Mac Show, getting his feet wet in the sitcom world. Then Tyler Perry came calling with an offer that would become the foundation of everything Lance has built since, the role of Calvin Payne on House of Payne.
And I canceled my meal plan because the food sucked.
Good. That means I'm getting some money back.
No, I bought some new kicks. You like?
When the show premiered in 2007, audiences immediately fell in love with Calvin, the young professional who somehow managed to stay in college for 7 years while navigating family drama, relationship chaos, and every sitcom situation you could imagine. Lance brought warmth, humor, and a genuine sweetness to the character that made him impossible not to root for. The proof: 4 NAACP Image Awards for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series.
Wow, God is good. God is good. To the NAACP, this is always a great honor. I appreciate it.
But while America was falling in love with Lance, the actor, his personal life was becoming tabloid fodder. In July of 2006, he began dating actress and model Eva Marcille, the stunning America's Next Top Model winner who was making her own waves in Hollywood. For years, they were that couple, beautiful, successful, seemingly perfect. On Christmas Eve in 2008, Lance proposed, and wedding bells seemed inevitable.
Tell me about the engagement. I want to hear the story.
We invited our families up to Big Bear. We started a tradition by going up to Big Bear for Christmas, and I just felt like that was the perfect time to do it.
Except they never rang. By March of 2010, the engagement was over. Both parties cited an amicable split, the kind of breakup statement that usually means there's way more to the story than either person is willing to share publicly. Eva moved on, eventually marrying Michael Sterling before that marriage also ended in divorce. Lance? He was about to meet the woman who would change everything. But before we get to that love story, Lance was building something else, a film career that would prove he was more than just Tyler Perry's funny guy. In 2008, Lance made his big screen debut in Meet the Browns.
Oh, you work like a dog, and what has it gotten you? You talk about God making a way. Mama, I'm not trying to die to get to heaven. I want mine here on earth.
Reuniting with Tyler Perry and starring opposite the legendary Angela Bassett. 2 years later, he appeared in Our Family Wedding.
If you can't stand up to your dad for our relationship, for me, then what are we doing? Why are we doing this?
Alongside America Ferrera, playing a recently engaged young man whose wedding preparations get derailed by family chaos. The role hit a little too close to home given his recent breakup, but Lance delivered. Then came 2012, and Lance showed a different side with The Last Fall.
Yeah, have him play anything but football. Baseball, basketball, golf, hell, even hockey. They're all guaranteed contracts. Football isn't.
An independent film where he played a retired NFL player struggling with financial and family difficulties. That same year, he starred in Lifetime's remake of Steel Magnolias.
Oh, if you stick around a little longer, I can give you a ride. A nail with a knee.
That's okay. I like to walk.
You sure it's no problem?
It was nice meeting you.
Proving he could handle ensemble casts and emotional depth.
I knew if I took on this role, I had to kill it. Like, it couldn't be just all right. Like, I had to fully dive in. So this was all method for me. I just want them to see what can happen to them, how it can deteriorate their soul. You know what I mean? And like Felicia Blakely, she ain't never getting out of jail. Dino, somewhere chilling.
In 2013, Lance reunited with Tyler Perry for Temptation: Confessions of a Marriage Counselor.
I'm gonna forget you did this, okay? Now, if you want to growl at something, you can growl at this sandwich. After we finish eating, we could go in the bedroom and do this the right way.
Starring opposite Journey Smollett-Bell, critics weren't kind to the film, but Lance's performance showed he was ready for more complex, dramatic material. And that's exactly what he started getting. In 2014, Lance landed the role of Secret Service agent Marcus Finley on NBC's political drama Crisis.
Going home now?
Yes, to see my wife.
Big reunion. Nice of her to let you back in the house, but you're the hero now. What choice did she have?
The show was short-lived, but it opened doors. He guest starred on Grey's Anatomy in 2015 as Dr. Ethan Boyd.
I would like to take you out, though, sometime. Maybe for coffee or a drink, or the point is I'm flexible. This is coming out all wrong.
Then joined the cast of Fox's Sleepy Hollow.
Just doing our part for Teen Witness, right?
Not just for that, for taking all this in stride.
I'm just glad we're all on the same page.
Me too, Daddy.
Later that year, staying through 2016. During this period, Lance was also building something else, a photography business. Not as a side hustle or celebrity vanity project, but as a serious second career. He'd been taking classes, studying the craft, and finally opened his own studio. When interviewers asked what he'd do if he wasn't acting, his answer was always the same: fashion photographer.
You know, I was in interviews and they were asking me, like, if you weren't an actor, what would you be doing? And the answer was always a fashion photographer. So, you know, it just dawned on me. Like, I was on hiatus. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, I've studied enough. I'm gonna go ahead and get myself a studio and I'm gonna start doing photography just as a side thing. You know what I mean?
Now, while Lance was juggling acting, photography, and figuring out his next move, love found him again. On May 23, 2015, he married Rebecca Mamie Jefferson, a fashion stylist who understood the industry, understood the demands, and most importantly, understood Lance. Their first daughter, Berkeley Bren Gross, was born on November 20th, 2014. Yes, before the wedding. And yes, that means Rebecca was probably very pregnant when they tied the knot.
Pop the question New Year's Eve. We tried to keep the pregnancy a secret for as long as we could, but of course you can't hide that for too long. But it was fun while it lasted because we kind of got our moment. It was our private moment, and now we can share it with the world. So.
Does it feel good to
Their son, Lennon Lauren Gross, arrived on July 10, 2018, completing their family. But here's where things get messy, because in 2018, Lance posted an innocent Instagram photo of his son Lennon with a caption mentioning his son's color coming in in nicely. What Lance meant as a sweet dad moment exploded into accusations of colorism from followers who interpreted his words as preference for lighter skin tones. Lance didn't run from the controversy. He addressed it head on, posting, "Colorism exists, yes, but y'all not about to just label every dark-skinned black man who was in a relationship with someone lighter complexion under that bus, and I chose love, not skin tone." The debate raged across social media, with some defending Lance's right to describe his son however he wanted, while others argued that language matters, especially when discussing black children's skin tone. It was a moment that showed how even the most seemingly innocent social media post can become a lightning rod for larger cultural conversations.
I looked at my dad like a superhero, so I follow his blueprint and just providing everything that I can for my kids. That's my superpower.
Meanwhile, Lance's career was reaching new heights. From 2017 to 2019, he played Maurice Jeter in Fox's musical drama, Star, working alongside Queen Latifah and showing he could handle a long-running primetime series.
We're at the home stretch, and the social media presence for the Rhythm and Bells Festival needs to increase. The ticket holders need to know the lay of the festival so they can maximize their experience.
He also landed recurring roles on CBS's MacGyver.
Gotta admit, it's fun working together.
I did have fun. But I don't think we should see each other anymore.
And Hawaii 5-0, becoming one of those actors whose face you recognize from multiple shows. In 2018, he co-starred in BET's miniseries The Bobby Brown Story, and in 2021, he took the leading role in the crime drama film Dutch.
No wonder they can't get Kazami. Monte Carlo is shit for brains. Only reason he ain't been tipped over is because it's police protection.
That movie was based on Terry Wood's best-selling novel series, and Lance's performance was strong enough that they've already filmed Dutch 2. But here's the role that changed everything, the role that made casting directors and audiences see Lance Gross in a completely different light. In 2017, Tasha Smith was preparing to make her directorial debut with When Love Kills, the Felicia Blakely story for TV One. The film told the true story of Felicia Blakely, a young stripper from Atlanta who, under the manipulation of her predatory pimp boyfriend Dino, committed 3 murders by age 19 and is now serving life in prison.
Playing you like you stupid. You stupid now? Maybe I should have you out there working because you ain't managing too well.
Tasha needed someone to play Dino, someone who could portray a manipulative, abusive, terrifying predator convincingly enough to make the story work. She had another actor lined up, but when he read the rewrites Tasha had done to make Dino's abuse more realistic, he balked. Too violent, too aggressive, too much. That's when Tasha called her friend and former student, the nice guy from House of Payne.
When Tasha actually called me, I was like, oh, like I've been dreaming of this type of role.
Lance read the script and said yes immediately, not because it would be easy, but because it would be the hardest thing he'd ever done. He told his family he was about to disappear into character. He talked to actual pimps in Oakland, Vegas, and Houston, studying their mannerisms, their manipulation tactics, their language. For 9 days of filming, Lance became Dino, and the transformation was so complete, so disturbing, so convincing that even he struggled with it.
Like it couldn't be just all right. Like I had to fully dive in. I talked to the family, let them know I was gonna tap out.
His co-star Nyesha Lil Mama Kirkland, who played Felicia, had never worked with Lance before. When the camera started rolling and Lance grabbed her, slapped her, verbally abused her, she wasn't seeing her co-star anymore. She was seeing Dino, and it terrified her.
And you remember every painful moment that brought you to this point, and you think, I'm not a killer.
In one scene, Lance actually headbutted her. It wasn't in the script. Tasha hadn't warned Lil Mama it was coming. Lance just did it in the moment because that's what Dino would do.
Like there was a scene where I had Dino do something to her and Little Mama was like, "You're evil."
The footage is still in the movie, and it's one of the most shocking moments because it feels so brutally real. When the film premiered in August of 2017, Lance couldn't sit with his daughter at the screening. Every time a sex scene or abuse scene came up, he wanted to leave. Lil Mama's father made her sit right next to him during the entire film, and she could feel his anger building every time Lance's character hurt his daughter on screen.
I went to my dad to seek counsel, and I'm just like, what do you think? Can you read the script and tell me what you think?
After it was over, Lil Mama's dad told her it was a good thing Lance couldn't make it to the after party. The implication was clear. Seeing Lance Gross in person after watching him abuse his daughter for 2 hours might have ended badly.
When I knew a sex scene was coming up, I was like, oh my God, whoa, I gotta use the bathroom now. He was like, sit your ass down. He's ready to kill Lance. Thank God Lance couldn't make it to the New York premiere.
That's how good Lance was. The performance earned Lance critical acclaim and opened up an entirely new lane in his career. Suddenly, casting directors who'd only seen him as the funny guy from House of Payne realized he had serious dramatic range. He could play light comedy, but he could also play darkness so convincingly it made people uncomfortable. In 2021, Lance starred in Fox's primetime soap opera, Our Kind of People.
That's the most fun I've had in church in a long time.
The Holy Spirit moved me.
And you moved me.
Opposite Yaya DaCosta. The show was canceled after 1 season, but Lance's performance proved he could carry a network drama. In 2022, he co-starred in Unthinkably Good Things with Karen Pittman, and in 2023, he appeared alongside Natari Naughton in the action thriller Call Her King.
I knew of Wes's work. I was sent the script and had the offer to do it.
Through it all, House of Payne kept calling him back. When the show was revived on BET in 2020, Lance returned to the role that made him famous, now balancing it with his other projects, his photography business, and his growing family. But Lance's journey hasn't just been about career evolution, it's been about personal evolution too.
When I look at this fatherhood thing, I just try to be at least a high percentage of what my father was.
In November of 2021, Lance was initiated as an official member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, joining a brotherhood that includes some of the most influential Black men in America. For someone who values legacy and family as much as Lance does, that initiation represented another layer of belonging and purpose. His marriage to Rebecca has become something people in Hollywood quietly admire. In an industry where celebrity marriages implode regularly, Lance and Rebecca have built something stable, something real. They've been open about the work it takes, the conversations about space and priorities when Rebecca moved into Lance's bachelor pad, the ongoing discussions about who handles what when their kids get sick, the constant negotiation of 2 careers and 2 children under 5.
One of the things that hurt my feelings about not being able to delegate the space, if I'm not allowed to make that call, but you are allowed to make that call, it didn't feel fair and it didn't feel like it was my home.
T. Lance has been remarkably honest about fatherhood in ways that many male celebrities avoid. He's talked about having to detox after playing Dino, about catching himself saying something to Rebecca that wasn't Lance talking. It was Dino. He shared his fears about raising a daughter in a world that sexualizes young girls, admitting he had an uncomfortable moment watching his 2-year-old daughter play on a pole at a children's party right after filming When Love Kills in strip clubs.
The day after we finished, I had to go back to LA and take my daughter to a children's party, but she started playing on this pole and it did something to me because we was just in the strip clubs in Atlanta and I was like, get off the pole.
He's also shared the heartbreak of watching his son Lennon ask endless questions about Lance's late father, a man Lennon never met but feels connected to through stories and the butterflies that appear in their garden, which Lance believes are his father visiting.
We got a garden in the front of our house, butterflies that just come visit and they'll be like, man, that's granddad.
Lance's father passed away in 2017 from dementia, just before Lennon was born. Lance named his son Lennon Lauren Gross, giving him his grandfather's name as a middle name rather than making him a junior. He wanted his son to have his own identity while carrying forward the legacy. Through his fitness journey, which he shares regularly on social media, Lance has been open about his mental health advocacy and his high risk for colon cancer due to family history. He posts about boxing, deadlifts, and feeling like an athlete, but he also posts about anxiety, depression, and breaking the stigma around Black men discussing mental health. In the music video for Got Your Back by T.I. featuring Carrie Hilson, Lance Gross appears.
For a minute, but they didn't keep their distance. They stayed home, waiting on the phone.
He also appears in Rihanna's music video for If It's Loving That You Want.
Your fantasy, I won't push too hard to break your heart. 'Cause my love's sincere.
As we head into 2026, Lance Gross is working on multiple projects he can't fully discuss yet, including what he describes as a period piece series set in Atlanta that will make Black people proud. He's written 5 scripts during quarantine, finally finishing projects he'd been thinking about for years, but never had time to complete. And yes, House of Payne continues, with Tyler Perry's recent announcement of a massive new deal with BET that ensures the Payne family will keep making audiences laugh for years to come.
There are more episodes of Tyler Perry House of Payne. He just had some big news with BET.
As of 2026, Lance Gross has an estimated net worth of $1.5 million. Not bad for the kid from Oakland, who gave up track and field to chase a dream. But Lance measures success differently now. It's not about the money or the accolades, it's about legacy, about being present for his children, about creating work that matters. When asked what he wants to instill in his son, Lance's answer is simple but profound. Be who you are, and don't be afraid of who you are. That's what his parents taught him, and that's what he's teaching the next generation. He's the father who leaves his daughter's hair natural, who roots for every black woman, who values his wife's career as much as his own, who admits when he doesn't know something instead of pretending to have all the answers. But the most powerful thing about Lance Gross isn't his range as an actor, his dedication as a father, or his growth as a man. It's that he proved the nice guy can play the villain without becoming one. He showed Hollywood that depth and darkness aren't about being method or losing yourself. They're about being brave enough to explore parts of humanity that make us uncomfortable. Because at the end of the day, Lance Gross is still that kid who turned down a guaranteed athletic career to take a chance on something uncertain. He's still the guy who struck up a conversation in an elevator and turned it into a national commercial. He's still the actor who could have stayed comfortable playing the lovable sitcom character forever, but chose to risk it all playing a monster. And that's the real story here. Not just about a career or controversy or transformation, but about a man who keeps choosing courage over comfort, who keeps showing up for the hard conversations, who keeps proving that being a good man and a great actor aren't mutually exclusive.